Welcome back one more time to the Rogue Company Championship Series. I almost said Rogue Champion Company Series,
there's
which
a lot of season. And
yeah,
things
doesn't,
in there.
it would still be RCCS. So I guess at the end of the day, it would be mostly right, but not quite. Rogue Company Championship Series. I'm Gore. That's Radthar joining me on the desk, and we are going into a fun rematch. So yesterday, I'm going to take you back. Feels like a long time, even though it's not really that much. We come in set number 1, Bulletproof versus Arial Rise. Exactly what we're about to get into. Goes 3 games.
Yep.
7-6, 7-6, 7-6 the entire time. I mean, incredibly close. And you have to watch these teams because of the fact that that's something that is phenomenal. I mean, Arial Rise has a really good matchup earlier versus Black Hand, so that's something I think that maybe opens things up. And of course, Bulletproof has moved themselves forward after beating Valor's GG. You can see that all down here. Bulletproof has been in the bottom bracket, the losers bracket, this entire time. So this is their continued fight for life. Whereas Arial Rise got knocked down here and now have the same fate on them. Loser goes home, and last time it was a 2-1 for Arial Rise, and that's got to put at least a little bit of sweat on the backs of Bulletproof.
I mean, but the mentality here as well. Like, I agree, they've already won one, but it was a very close win. It's very disputed about how close that win could have been, what it would have taken for the tables to turn. That's a phrase. But also, mentality-wise, you have to remember, Bulletproof are now coming off a win in the losers bracket. Arial Rise are coming off a loss from the winners bracket. So Bulletproof already have the pressure. They've dealt with a series on this pressure of going out. Arial Rise don't. They've just lost the game. They're like, if we lose again, we're out. And that's going to be a big mentality shift going into this one as well, I think.
And looking at it, like yesterday, both of them going relatively well, but Arial Rise only dropping a single game in the groups, so being able to kind of show up very strong. Granted, like you said, depending on how this set goes with how close it is, it's kind of a coin flip as to whether or not you can call it like the full win. But at the end of the day, it was a dub, and now they're going to try to repeat that. That's where things get a little more complicated. Bulletproof, on the other side, like you said, had played Valor's a little bit earlier. Technically, I guess Arial Rise has the more recency in their play. But like you said, because it was a loss, still, I think, very surprising to see how well they fought back against Black Hand, considering. Right. And that's the thing that I think has made things the most interesting for Arial Rise, is how close this matchup was yesterday and how close they kept it with a team that theoretically could have blown them out of the water. You can see the bans, though, Glacier, Palace, Wanted, and High Castle. We're going to Breach first. Now, this one's, I was going to say, one we haven't seen too often.
No, I'm not even sure if we've seen it on the LAN stage, main stage at all this series. I know it's been played on the B stream yesterday, but I don't think it's been played on main stage across the 2 days. So it's going to be a very interesting one to see these, again, 2 titans of a team, Bulletproof and Arise. They are disputed in terms of how close they are in skill. And so when you get onto a map like Breach, which is a very tactile map where the 2 IGLs, Nash and Canny, are going to have to really put their team through it and come up with strategies, this is the kind of map that really facilitates that.
Now, this is a question, when you come to Breach, especially because we haven't seen it yet, like, what kind of compositions are you looking for? Are you looking for something that's going to play a little more defensive? Are you going full aggro like we've seen some of these? Where's the ground going to be for these teams?
Yeah, I mean, I can see a lot of potential Charks coming in here. I know, obviously, we know Classic loves Charks. I'd be surprised if we don't see that come in. Fix is definitely potential to come in from either side. Canny likes to pick that up every once in a while. Glimpses also are potentials. There's really a lot that could go into this. It depends also what bans come through. I'm expecting a Lancer ban just through and through from one of these teams. And the other one, maybe a Ronin. If they want to go Intel, I can see a Ronin being banned. If they don't want to go Intel, then I can potentially see Sigurd being banned. But I don't know if either team are particularly happy. Oh, actually, no, we have P-Story. We have P-Story here. So there you go. Never mind. The Sigurd's definitely getting banned here. And I'm expecting the Lancer to come out. If not the Ronin. I just don't think there's anybody too comfortable on Lancer on either team that they want to risk it potentially coming through, but we'll see exactly where that ban goes. But yeah, the Sigurd into P-Story makes a lot of sense.
And I think P-Story specifically makes a big splash earlier, right? Yes. That's where I wanted to go with that. Like, I mean, it was very impressive to see what they were able to do compared to like yesterday. Like, not necessarily that they were quiet, but earlier today, they were just screaming loud with the plays they were making.
P-Story today was just on fire. He was just doing so well, especially on that lockdown map. He took Black Hand so far, and I say he's on fire as he plays Scorch this game. So, it's definitely true there, isn't it?
Well, we'll see. Can Bulletproof arise over Arial Rise, or will Arial Rise take the matchup one more time? We'll find out with the casters.
Thank you so much, Gore and Radar. I'm GK and I'm joined by Captain at Soka. We are live and direct, baby. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling absolutely live. I'm loving the vibes going on, especially after that last matchup we saw. Ooh. A definite big bar to try and come over, especially as we are getting ready to head into this matchup between Bulletproof and Arial Arise here on this map for the very first time.
Very first time, and I'm going to quickly ask you this, and I know we're not supposed to say, but do you have a prediction on who you think is going to win this map? Or a favorite, you can say either.
Lethal out.
Honestly, going into this one, I have no clue whatsoever. I honestly can't make a prediction. All I will say is that I feel like Arial Arise may have a little bit of advantage because they did come so close to getting that dub over Blackhand, and already you can see Nash laying down a whole lot of fire, being able to get the knock on Clash, but that res is coming up right behind, as now we can say, who's that? We'll be making this push around the corner, and it's going to force Nash to try and retreat, but not getting far, as we will see P-Story being knocked, as well as the exchange will come through again. Oh. And now it will be a round one win in favor of Bulletproof.
Who's that went absolutely mental there. He allowed his Dahlia to get the res whilst he pushes and trades out the other Scorch, putting them in a 3v1 situation whilst that res is gone through. So, wow, Bulletproof are coming in hot. And actually, what I really wanted to say here is that normally in these situations, when a team wins against another team and has to play them again later in the tournament, they actually end up losing. So Arial Rise beat them the first time, but Bulletproof have that fire in their belly. They're coming off a win, and I actually think they might have the advantage, at least for this first map.
Now, you see, the thing about Arial Arise is, like we said, you know, they're coming off of a very close game that they pretty much considered that they probably should have won. So they have something to prove as well as Bulletproof does. So again, this is going to be a clash of two titans, and honestly, this is a good old-fashioned grudge match.
Yeah, and let's talk about how we have a mirror comp here, right? Both teams think that these are the rogues that are fitting for both sides. Do you think they're going to switch when they go to attack and defense?
Honestly, I would hope so. I mean, after going against this mirror matchup, you're going to see the difficulties come out. Believe you me, we're going to see a lot of challenges between both of these teams when they're trying to use their tactics and the other team using the exact same tactics. So again, I wouldn't be surprised once we switch over the defense, we're going to see the character switch around, as well as the bomb will be planted on that B site. Absolutely free, and now the push coming in from Bulletproof.
And I think they're going to try and do a mid flank here. They do use the molly, the Scorch doesn't die, the flash comes out, and the track goes down. He's going to have to use his ult to get back up again, but at this point, Bulletproof are stuck in this fight, in this corridor right here. It's trade after trade, and they do come out on top 2-0 Bulletproof.
Yeah, that was kind of a feels bad. Look, we even got Cannibal standing up. Like, what happened? What's going on? What was that? Yeah, but I'm not going to lie. That was an awkward push coming from Arial Arise. They got themselves stuck in that alleyway, and then they couldn't get out.
Right.
Granted, even though they had the immunity from the Molly, from the Scorch Link, still wasn't enough. They simply just got out-fragged and stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And do you know what? I don't exactly blame them for pushing one side and risking it all on doing that, right? But the only thing is, I wouldn't say just flank through middle at that point. That's just so dangerous, you know? The two members of your team jumping over a wall into absolute fire, it's never really going to end well, is it?
No, absolutely not. And again, that's what we talked about, the complications coming through by having this mirror matchup. So many characters in this lobby are immune to the Molly. So, as we get ready to head into round number 3, we can see Bulletproof are doing extraordinarily well, and they got some morale on their side as Arial Arise is yet to get on the board.
And I've just realized, actually, this is going to be super, super tough for Bulletproof actually to get the bomb down if the defending team are at the site they're at, because they have no smokes, right? They have to just bully their way onto site. Oh, and we have a trade-off instantly. Joker getting Who's That down, and that, you know, that's a clash of old friends there. Joker getting traded out as well. Chaco unavailable, and the Dahlia is the last man standing, and that's going to be 2-1 to Bulletproof.
Well, there we go. And remember, this was kind of similar to last round where Bulletproof won. The only difference was is they didn't try to rotate. They thought they could take A. They thought they were going to spearhead their way into a place where Arial was already set up at. They had covered all their bases, and they wanted to challenge them, and they were punished for it.
Right. And probably they only thought at max 2 people are there. You know, we just went to the other bomb site. You've got to imagine that somebody's now covering that. Probably, from what we saw, that's not what happened. Arial Rise went with their game plan, and they 3-stacked again, and it came out in their favor.
Yeah, now that Arial Arise is on the board, there's going to be a little bit more respect coming from the side of Bulletproof.
I agree.
They know that Arial Arise is not going to be a pushover on this matchup as we get ready to head into round number 4, and we can see P-Story, who is arguably the MVP, coming from Arial Arise, start to set up and already taking those early shots.
And let's not forget, Arial Arise took a map off one of the best teams in the game right now, and the champs from the last LAN event. So they are coming in this very, very confident in what their ability is. Same with Bulletproof with that win. So this is, I think, probably going to go to a 6-6 and probably going to go to a third game. What do you think, Captain?
I couldn't help but agree with you, only because that's exactly what I want to see. And if we talk about it, maybe we can speak it into the universe. But with that being said, we know full well neither of these teams want to see a 6-6, especially Arial Arise. They've had enough 6-6s against Blackhand to last them a lifetime. They don't need any more clutch moments. And honestly, if they continue to play the way they have been, coming down to the bitter end, to the very last second, I don't know how much more I can take. All my hair has already fallen out from the last matchup they had. So let's see if they're going to be able to end this one early, as we again are just seeing the bodies hit the floor. And now, and there it is, the end of the round, and it will be Bulletproof to go up 3-1 against Arial Arise.
And you can see Bulletproof dapping each other up, shaking each other's hands. They're feeling nice right now, aren't they?
Yeah. I was gonna flash like that.
Oh, you can even hear the comms. They're talking it up, and that's one thing that I like. I love the communication. You know me, I'm a jabba-jaw, I'm a modem out. Talk it up, communicate with me, let me know what's going on. And you can see where the communication paid off. They're even pinging, not just vocal communication is enough. Let them know where specifically the enemy is at on the map. Talk it up, communicate, throw the pings down, so that way you can get as much intel as possible without using an intel character.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. And that's why they're so good as a team, right? And they've stuck together for so long, Cannibals and Who's That. So hopefully they can bring this through and make this a very, very good competitive game.
Oh, and a competitive game, I'm sure, is what exactly we are going to get.
Here. He won't get flashed. They don't know he's here. If he didn't move excessively there, oh, his head popped up a little bit, and Class may have just seen that. It's looking like they are a bit of a stalemate here. And this is what happens in a mirror comp, right? You got the exact same rogues that you're being opposing you. So I would probably suggest a rotation job here, but they are going to get a pick on Joker. He tries to take sight, and he's the only person not immune to mollies, and I wouldn't have advised that, right?
Honestly, what I'm seeing right here is just a flex off. This is a flex competition. Both teams know exactly where each other are, but instead of trying to fall back and regroup, they're trying to outstrength and bully their way to get these dubs. They're really trying to force the issue. As you can see, P-Story is not backing off. They're going for the full push, and they will get the knock on Nash. Now trying to maneuver around the side, but eventually will get knocked down, and it will be Bulletproof again to come out with another win.
This is so interesting. The rivalry here, for everyone at home, the context is that Joker used to play with Who's That and Cannibal. So they are ex-teammates. So when you see them standing up and waving at each other, they are friends, but they're also enemies. And let's go have a listen into Bulletproof right now.
Give me bomb. All right, you just rinse and repeat. Hear me out. We're going to go semi-commit, and then I think we just jump out the window. Okay. If we figure out Nash is there, we rotate.
They showed 2 mid-drop.
All right, maybe they're getting, yo, Kenny, maybe jump in the window?
This window?
In the window so you can look mid. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Oh, they're here. Let's go, let's rotate.
I knocked
I'm gone, rotate,
that's
use it.
That's linked down. Yeah, he linked it, 100%. He got him up mad quick. Yeah, plant. I'm not playing. They're probably going to 3-man our side, no bullshit.
I'm playing here. Yep.
That's just something we should keep in the back of our mind. They might do it.
I'm gonna ride here.
Class,
they're blue. I think
you're his help right now, Class. I'm in a weird spot.
On me.
Joker. Don't have one.
Nash, 1 shot. Nash 1 HP. Joker half.
Enemies eliminated.
Good shit, bro. Good fucking shit.
Holy! Now they are looking like a completely different team here, and this is what I was talking about. They've already lost to Arial Arise, so they know what they should have done better the last time they faced each other, whereas Arial Arise won that last matchup, so they really can't take too much from it in terms of what to progress and what to change for this new matchup. So Bulletproof coming in with that advantage and taking it very far right now.
Yeah, not to mention, remember, I interviewed Class earlier on today, and they said that they had something to prove. Class was saying that they never should have gone down so earlier on, and that they know that they are not an underdog in this land. They are, a matter of fact, one of the top contenders, and they said they are going to prove it here today in day number 2, and they might do just that against Arial Arise. But with that being said, remember, Arial Arise is also coming off of a defeat, so they cannot afford to go down 2 games in one day.
Yeah, and that's going to really hurt their souls if they lose this match. That'll be a double loss in the last 2 games, and then they have one match left until they leave the tournament. It's all going to add up, and they really need to start getting rounds in if they want to have a chance of winning this whole series, to be honest. Every round here, even if they lose this map, will count for momentum to the next map, right?
Mm-hmm. And you know what we just saw? We just saw a picture-perfect example of when captains capping. I thought they were going to switch things up when the trade came through from offense to defense. No, we're doing another mirror match.
Well, here's... I don't know about this, because here's the weird thing I was going to say as well, is that I believe this comp is much better for attack, okay? Because you are breaching and you are planting and you're getting out, right? But on defense, it forces the hand to play aggressive, and that didn't work for Arial Arise, but Bulletproof seem to be on one right now, and it may just pay off. Oh, that nade was almost fantastic.
Yeah, the only concern I really have for Arial Arise is clearly they tried this matchup before, and honestly, it didn't work out for them. So why would you try and repeat that again? I would think you would try and change it up to try and find a way to beat their matchup. But instead, they're just going to go at it again and hope to beat Bulletproof at their own game. And already we can see the bodies once again hitting the floor. And there will go the 1v1 Scorch versus Scorch.
Ooh, who have we got? We've got Who's That on one side, chasing down the enemy. We've got P-Story on the other side. He's going to bait the res just to make the enemy push him. And here we go straight into the gunfight. Who's that? Who's that? He's not here to mess around. And look at Cannibals backing up his teammate. Class snapping him up. This is what we love in Rogue Company.
That's a whole lot of support coming from Bulletproof just now. Remember, Who's That was the one who managed to clutch up. And then you have Who's That's 2 teammates standing up for him, saying, this is our player, this is our guy, we are popping off. And now, in game number 1, they are going up 6-1 against Arial Arise.
Just look at those stats, Captain Ahsoka. 12 kills for Who's That. He must have slept well last night, because he is killing it right now.
They are absolutely popping off, and I think we need to keep in mind that this could very well be another future pick, as they can see the success that Who's That has had playing on this Scorch character.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so you're saying it might transfer to the next maps, right?
Exactly.
I think that would be a great evaluation and something they should really take on. The only thing is, Fixer was open, and maybe Arial Arise are really kicking themselves for not playing it.
Yeah, maybe so, as we again see Who's That making the push now onto Arial Arise. As we can see, the rotation is beginning to go underway.
They have the pinch. Class is actually behind them, and Who's That Akani have taken the middle lanes here. And we're already in the middle of a fight. Class gets a trade before he will get pushed out. He's managed to stay alive, and the Dahlia's caught up with him. Now it's Cannibals and Class in one position. The Scorch is down, the Dahlia is down, and next in line is the Chak. 1-0, Bulletproof, stand up.
You can hear Cannibals getting up saying, what's going on over there? What's happening over there with you guys? That was uncharacteristic, and I can't help but to agree. That did not look like the Arial Arise that we saw earlier.
Right, and that's purely because they beat these guys before. They had no reason to change what they were doing before, because they've already won that matchup. Now, Bulletproof, they've been thinking about this matchup the whole day, because they have to win it. They can't lose twice to the same people. They have something to prove. And that's what they've been saying this whole time. We have something to prove. And they just did.
They did, but it's not over yet. Keep in mind, this is a best of 3, so Arial Arise can surprise everybody and turn things around. But with that being said, you know, just the sheer performance that we saw from Bulletproof in that map number 1, they are looking absolutely dominant.
I have to agree as well. I do think Arial Arise should have picked the Fixer up, just because they've been using it a little bit, right? And on defense, like I said, that comp doesn't work. If you had a smoke to throw every time someone went to go put the bomb down, it's a whole different situation. Every retake is a whole different situation when you have Fixer. Let's take a look at these replays, though, because then we can really get into the nitty-gritty of what was good and what was bad. Oh, this play was unbelievable when it was Scorch versus Scorch in the ultimate fight at the end of this, right?
Oh, absolutely. Keep in mind, Bulletproof is no stranger to coming down to the wire in those 1v1 situations, and who else but Who's That was able to come in clutch. And then, of course, we see the turn coming in here from Chak, who very well should have died, but managed to roll out of danger And then, of course, this instance right here, we thought that it will be Arial Arise to come through with that flank, but somehow, some way, Bulletproof managed to come in with that 2-1 switcheroo and take the dub.
And that's something to mention as well, the first bit of that sentence, Class getting a kill that he shouldn't have gotten. And that's been the theme for him this whole tournament, right? He keeps a lane, right? And you think, oh, he might be in trouble, he might be in a bad position, but he always gets a trade, and then his team comes and helps him. Cannibal's just so good at that, understanding where his teammates are and what he has to do and what angle he has to take to make sure they stay alive. Class and Cannibal's played so well, and then Who's That solo play was unbelievable. The most kills I think he's got in a game all weekend, I think, actually. So what a standout play that was from him. Standout game.
Oh, absolutely. And I've said this from the get-go. I said this back during the quals. Who's That is the wild card from Bulletproof. You never know when they're going to pop off, but when they do, it is without a doubt the highlight of the entire match. And honestly, if they can keep that up, if Who's That can show up that way every single match, they're going to get the dub over Arial Arise.
And I'm going to have to agree. And now let's go back to that context that we were talking about. It's 1-0 to Bulletproof. Joker left Bulletproof and he's 1-0 down, right? So that's why Canny and Who's That are super happy about that and super aggressive towards the enemy team, saying, look, we beat you, you left us, now let's go to the next map because it's about to be the same exact thing. They got that confidence. They got an ex-teammate on the other side. They really want to prove that they should be the winners here, and they did a great job.
Yeah, now we're getting ready to look at some of our map selections as we head into map number 2. It's going to be Windward. And again, just to keep in mind and remind some folks that might just be joining in, it was in fact Bulletproof to take the 7-1 win on Breach. Now, you might be familiar with this, but in Rogue Company, can we call that a Brazil? That is a 7-1 victory. That's a Brazil.
You know, I've always thought we call that a whitewash in England.
Oh, okay.
So I would agree, because in Rogue Company, you never really get a 7-0. Like, you always troll around after you go 6 up or 5 up. So I would say, I would agree with that, Captain. 7-1, yeah, I really like that. That is pretty much a whitewash right there. And that is embarrassing.
Yeah, unfortunate for Arial Arise, but again, they have an opportunity to turn things around, and Windward is a completely different map. So honestly, I would be surprised if we saw another mirror matchup.
I doubt it completely, and I think if there's a fixer open, it has to be played. The lanes are so massive, and I don't want to see the mistake that we saw yesterday, where the fixer was using a DMR on this map from Balor's GG. It just doesn't work out because you might as well be playing Talon or Dallas at that point, right? There's no point. If you have a sniper, however, so much of the lane is covered, and even if you can't get that finish, you can get map control. But first ban here is Lancer, and the second ban, of course, is Sigrid. All day, all weekend, Sigrid. He must be feeling confident. You know, every time you ban someone's favorite rogue or their main rogue, they get a bit of confidence from it as well.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised that we're not seeing a little bit more sniper action going on here. Windward being one of the more long maps for each lane. There's a long lane for every single one. Onto the right lane, the mid lane, and of course, the left lane. You have so much exposure and so much ground to cover. I'm surprised we're not seeing that sniper, especially from Nash, who we saw earlier today, really pop off with the sniper rifle.
I'm going to have to take a guess, and I'm thinking that they've made a mutual agreement not to play snipers because there's no way that Fixer is open and nobody's playing. I'm gonna have to make that prediction because I think they just wanted to fight out pure gun skill, no one-shot headshots, right? It is a bit annoying when it can happen. So I think that's the reason why we're seeing that. Let's head in though. Round 1, Bulletproof versus Arial Arise. Bulletproof 1-0 up. Oof, what do you expect?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Again, we are only one character off from getting that mirror matchup. We see Who's That with the Ronin, and of course on the other side they have the Glimpse. And honestly, Who's That have been a little bit lackluster on the Ronin. We've actually seen them show up more with the Glimpse than the Ronin, so it's going to be interesting to see how they manage to match up against their Glimpse heading into this one. As we could see Class already getting some damage done over there by the Fountain. Moving up now is going to go for the full aggro, pushing, and it's a full retreat coming from Arial Arise.
And we've seen a switch of the map. Switch of the map. Now the attack is taking the defense side and the defense has moved into the middle lanes. But unfortunately, the attacking team is now pinched almost. If they try and get the bomb down, they're going to get util dumped. If they rotate, they're going to get seen to do it. So now they have to formulate some sort of plan. Maybe leave one person to lurk behind whilst 2 rotate and then rotate back. Something around that type of play is what I think we'll see here.
And honestly, this is such an important matchup for Arial Arise to win because they are going off of 6 unanswered wins in the favor of Bulletproof. So if they want to try and put an end to this drought and stop the bleeding, they're going to have to take a win early.
Get back to fighting.
And Nash is going to get that first pick on Who's That there, and that's going to be crucial for the post-plant play here. that means one person is rezzing, and whilst that's 2 rogues in the middle of the map, and whilst that's happening, Arial Rise can get the map positions that they want without Bulletproof even knowing where they are. So this retake just become 10 times harder for Arial Rise.
And not only that, but now they have half the time to make it happen. As we can see Class going for the push here, and who's that going to be grouping up with Class to try and make the push around. We can see one player already in retreat, and there is the sleeper coming out of nowhere and will nearly get knocked in the process as we see Cannibals over there by the tree laying down some extra damage. We'll go for the fake defuse and we'll try and get the link res, but they will be the lone survivor as time will run out, and it will be a win for Arial Arise.
Ooh, a big switch up from what we saw last game, right? A bit of a more momentum, a bit more focus from Arial Rise. I think they just realized it's the kick in the back I was talking about. They needed to lose a game against Bulletproof in order to know what to do to beat them again now. I do probably think we're going to see a third map. It's just logic when people are so good at the game, right? Both teams are so good at the game. It's just likely that one team who has a bit more fire in their belly because they just lost is going to make it happen and win the map. So I do predict Arial Rise to really take this one home just from the momentum and the pressure that now unfolds onto them, right? If they lose this game, they are going home.
Yeah, not to mention, you got to keep in mind, the first time that these two teams met up, it did go all the way to that 6-6 and came down to the slightest margin of error in that final trade. So we could very well see the same thing happen here today as Joker is going to be going around the back, trying to flank around with the bomb and get another plant on A. They have had success on A, so it's no surprise they are going to be making that push again.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you on that. And what they're doing, which is really smart, is not using all 3 rogues. However, one is stuck there. Joker's going to come help and bail out his teammate. Trying to push for this kill. Does he get it? He does. Absolutely aggressive with the help of P-Story Chapter 1.
And that was a great push because I gotta say, Cannibals all the way in the back with that Dahlia and the DMR is an absolute nuisance. That's something they suffered from the first time that they met up. But now they were able to snuff that out and put it into it, as now we have P-Story getting yet another elimination on the Ronin, and the follow-up coming through. And that will be a round win in favor of Arial Arise.
Ooh, that was close. Who's that almost clutched it up? He got a kill. He got a little bit of damage on the other rogue. Now, if Class was slightly closer, he would have got that trade-off, and it would have been a 1v1 with the Chak. Unfortunately, he rolled over the Chak's head in order to kill the other rogue, and then he got shot in the back and killed. So that's 2-0 for Arial Arise already, and now both teams have guns, and they both have utility. I think we'll see a bit of a more coordinated pace from Bulletproof, and probably a round win in the next couple, because they really do need it in a map like this. It's so balance-sided, neither nor attack or defense, so you just need rounds on attack or defense. You just need round after round after round, at least 2.5, especially at this caliber, just to have a chance on the opposite side.
Well, here's a chance now for P-Story as they will be making their way over towards the A site. Remember, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They have been winning on A every single time, so here they go again as Joker will throw out that util trying to pick up a flash, but will find none. As now we see who's that back around towards that A site, using again the Ronin and Nash. Gonna be watching the flank there towards the mid, and Class once again over by the cart, right around where Nash is hiding.
And Nash loves to do things like this. He probably told them, you guys go push A, I'm going to go wait on flank. I have a feeling that somebody's going to flank, and I'm playing Glimpse, so I can see if the Chak's in front of me, and I can make a move off it. The only thing is, of course, there's a Ronin on the other side of the team, so it doesn't always work out like that. You really get no intel on 66% of the team, so it has been countered to some degree, but he can go invisible, and he has padded steps. It's still a good rogue.
And this is going to be a tough retake. We can already see that Arial Arise is in some pretty good positioning to watch over the bomb. Joker going to be going up top to get a lot of chip damage here, but will not get the elimination as the Simtex will go out. And now here comes the ult, going in to try and at least buy themselves some more time, but they will get knocked in the process as another knock will come through on Nash, and that will be a 3-up, 3-down in favor of Bulletproof.
Clean up on R2. Right, that was disgusting. They all died in the space of about 7 seconds, pinched from all angles. And it looked like Joker had brought it favorable for Arial Rise whilst getting those pop shots as they came up the stairs, but completely countered, you know. He ran out of bullets, he had to pop his Chak off, then he got pinched from tree. Bulletproof, really, really great retake. Coordinated, slow-paced, and direct to the point.
Absolutely. Honestly, what they did just now was a they really just took advantage of the confusion, and there was a lot of confusion on the side of Arial Arise. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a listen in to hear what Arial Arise are going to be talking about.
I think we do like a B and then do that though, just because.
Do a B then?
Yeah.
You want to hit far right B and then plan for their spawn?
Yeah. I could take zip.
There's
Yeah,
only
you
one
probably
kid
could.
here.
Yep.
It's probably Chuck.
I'm not even gonna smoke market. I'm just gonna.
Probably Chuck.
They
He's
smoke.
probably-
Yeah, they're smoking A. Yeah, Chalk is here. Chalk is here.
I just got flash.
I got flash too.
They're Dahlia Chalk up there.
I just got naded. I just got naded.
Yep, I'm backing up.
He's aping. Turn.
He's one shot.
Turn. Look. At this.
He's one.
I'm flashing him down low.
Flash down low. Flash down low.
Yep.
Play together. One's
chilling, I'm
AP in this
chilling,
way.
Joker.
One's AP in this way.
I'm chilling, Joker.
One shot.
There's
One
one.
shot.
He's 20 health. Up top. Play your invis.
Administering aid. Commencing resuscitation.
Let's go, Nash.
Fucking
Pokemon, baby.
Let's go.
Wow, now that was an intense 1v1, Captain Itsoka. I mean, it was pure, right? Who's that saw Nash creeping up on him, and Nash didn't really see Who's that there. He snapped on him, and Who's that had to back up and ultimately lost that trade. What a 1v1, what a round.
That honestly came down to a little bit of a gun game there at the end. It really wasn't one advantage over the other. It was really just about landing your shots. And as you could see, it was Nash landing those dings time and time again, really putting the bullets on the point. And with that being said, it kind of is a feels bad because it seems like Who's that was getting a little numb in the thumbs.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, he took the first shots on that trade, and unfortunately it didn't pay off. And it is a weird angle because it's lower down on the stairs, and it can get a bit scuffy. So that's unfortunate for him, but it's fortunate for Arial 3-1. They're bringing it back in this series so far.
And here we go, back to a familiar area. We see Class and Nash once again in that classic standoff, as now Joker will be making their way around with the bomb. They're eyeing that B site, but whether they make the push has yet to be decided. They're going to have to commit here as they make their way towards the cart. And now Class knows exactly where they are as the rotation will come through back towards that mid lane.
And as we just heard, oh, Dahlia's going to go down there. That's unfortunate. Nash is going to knock him, and Chapter 1's going to finish him. So now we have a 3v2 situation, the rotation job, and everybody's stuck in one corner. I don't believe this is going to go in favor of Bulletproof. Klaas is not taking over an answer, life drain, and now he's versus Dahlia. He's 1 HP, however, and the chat gets res, and that's going to go in favor of Arial 4-1. I just want to talk on the point that when we went for the live comms, did you hear? Like, they were coming absolutely everything. I've been here, I'm one shot, I've been naded, he's going to push me. Keep your eyes focused on this guy down here, one shot, Nash. They kept giving the information as the round kept going on, even to the point of saying there's a nade coming my way, there's a smoke in front of me, give me 2 seconds, right? I'm 20 HP. And that's really showing in the scoreline. And a map like this is so big. All those comms are really, really important.
It most certainly is, and Arial Arise using their comms to peak proficiency here on Windward as we get ready to head into round number 6. And we see Joker again with the bomb, and Who's that not taking any chances on A. They're going to get to that tree early.
They are indeed. And we got 4-1 here, and the last game was like we said, a white. What did you call it again?
I call that a Brazil. A 7-1 is a Brazil scoreline.
That was a Brazil, and we're on our way to another Brazil right here and now, right? 4-1 to Arial. It might be a back-to-back Brazil and a quick third map, the way that it's looking right now. If they do get this round here, I don't see Bulletproof coming back.
Oh, here we go. Joker once again in that familiar spot, which honestly is a great spot to have to try and get some peak damage. But keep in mind, earlier, the one win that Bulletproof has was on that chalk in that spot. So again, they have to be careful when they're choosing their positioning, as the flashes will come through. And we can see the blind going down on Who's that. And now the chalk ult had been popped, but they're forced to retreat.
Dahlia, the Ronin knife did stop it, and then Klaas helping through connector definitely helped Who's that live on site. He was 40 HP from the Semtex and flashed. So good teamwork from Bulletproof there.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised Who's That has been able to hold that position for so long because the intel came through. They know full well where they are, but they wasted their util in the process by trying to take Who's That out. They managed to survive, and now Joker going for the flank, and Who's That taking, again, a massive amount of damage, but still somehow surviving.
He tried to get a little bit of a peek on there, saw two, and quickly retreated, right? He didn't want to be the reason that this round goes into a 2v2 situation right when they get the advantage. 10 seconds on the clock for Arial Rise to plant the bomb.
Yeah, and we already know Who's That has been holding this position for so long and will follow up to get the knock. And it will be a round win in favor of Bulletproof. Once again, we see the 4-2 split at the half.
Yes, we do indeed. And I do think that's exactly what Bulletproof needed if they want to come back into this map. Now they have a bit of momentum. Now they're switching sides instead of attacking. Instead of defending, now they're choosing the shots on attack. They get to choose where on the map they want to play rather than defend, and that's what I think. That's why I think Wynwood is an attack-sided map, because you get to choose the lane, you get to choose the bomb site you want to play on, and somebody is always taking about 15 seconds to rotate across the map.
Now, you can see right now Who's That hovering over that Scorch pick, and honestly, I think they should go for it. In that map, number one, Who's That popped off with Scorch. And if there's anything that we learned from earlier is that when something doesn't work the first time around, you try to change it. So whether it's even one small rogue selection difference, I say go for it. And now we see Who's That breaking out the Fixer.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And on attack as well, now they have a smoke. They have a C4. They have a sniper. Somebody can see through that smoke. So many plays can be made. He can see the glimpse when the glimpse is in her ult. He has provided a whole new aspect of attack for his team. The Dahlia and Shaq alone could do so much. And now you have a smoke and someone who can see through the smoke. It's big in the game.
Well, here we go into the second half here on Windward, as Who's That will surprise us all with a Fixer pick. Let's see if it pays off. We see Who's That and company making their way over towards that mid lane, and Joker going to where Class was earlier, over there by the cart, and already Class has been pointed out.
Flashed as well instantly. The Fixer ult is now into full effect. He owns middle. He owns the middle of Windward right now. I would suggest they all rotate to A bomb site if they can get through. I think Cannibals is going to call the exact same play. He is going to be last one to rotate, which is, yep, he's going back the safe way. That's what we know about Cannibals. He's not going to risk it all just to make a quick rotation. He's going to go back safely and cover the flank. The glimpse is in front of him, though. He's going to need help to finish this off, I believe. It's straight war. It's going to be a straight war here.
Nash being the sneaky glimpse, coming through, being able to pick up that elimination, and now we find ourselves in a 2v1, going to try and get the finish on the Dahlia, but Dahlia manages to find some cover, but still, they are not in favorable position, as we can see Class, as well as Who's That, rotating back around and now dealing damage onto that glimpse. Nash, again, using the camouflage, trying to get away with the invis, as the bomb continues to tick away. Nash is running out of time.
He is, and at this point, I think he's really just playing for some economy and trying to get some extra money, because these two players are not holding up, and not in this situation. They are not letting him defuse the bomb, that's for sure.
Absolutely not, and there will be no time left remaining, and it will be another win in favor of Bulletproof. Now they are back within one.
This is getting kind of crazy now, and now we have to add to the fact that was pistol round, and what happens after pistol round? You earn money to have guns. So now Bulletproof has guns, and Arial Rise doesn't. So that would technically mean they should have the advantage in this round and make it 4-4, right? And if we get to that situation, we know it's going 6-6, and then it's going to be chaos in that last round. But let's see if we can get there.
Absolutely, and we're looking at that replay. Class was just absolutely eating off that turnaround. Normally, when we talk about the Spitfire, it's one of the weaker weapons, but because it has such a high fire rate, if you get into that close proximity and you're getting all dings, you're going to get a double knock, and that's exactly what we saw from Class.
He is so good at pushing, and he's fearless, it looks like. If he has a 1v1, he takes it and he kills someone always. He gets the Dahlia res, and it's suddenly a great play.
Now then, remember, this is a combo we saw earlier. It is the Fixer with the Mamba. We saw Cannibals use that earlier, and they did exceptionally well. So let's see if Who's That will be able to replicate it as we head into this match number 8. And already you can see a full rotation, completely bypassing A and heading straight to B.
Joker is waiting in market, however. There's not a lot he can do. I do believe one Semtex has already come out of Arial Rise's team, and that will be Joker's Semtex. So actually, he can't stop this bomb plant at all unless he beams someone going for it. I don't think they're going to go on that side and get shot at the same time, because you can just you can just hug that left wall, right? And the bomb's going to go down. He has a flash. He's going to flash the back potentially whilst Chapter 1 P-Story pushes up. And that's the only play I think they can do here. He flashes the back. P-Story gets out, however, and now it's a straight up post plant. This comes down to gun skill here.
And remember the last time these two teams met up, it was Arial Arise that managed to outgun Bulletproof, but it will be Bulletproof with the positional advantage as they don't have to push the issue. They got the bomb planted, so now it's going to be who's that watching the flank with the Mamba. But Joker is on their way, coming from the trucks, and Class will be knocked coming from Chapter 1. There's now Nash will get the elimination on who's that, and we can see the Joker still alive and well, and will get the elimination on who's that.
I mean, that is rather confusing, right? How does Class go down? How does who's that go down? And how is Canny just standing at the back at the same time? It doesn't really make too much sense what happened there. They managed to isolate each player in the space of 10 seconds. Arial Arise went crazy.
Joker had a little bit of a flex at the end. He went ahead and took a selfie and, you know, still had time. I don't know if it was a real selfie or just a pose, but either way, we're getting ready to head into a listen-in with Bulletproof.
Faster than the money. If I have a gun, I would have picked one of them too, Nash or Joker, when they flanked. So I'm kind of annoyed about that. Let's fight B, yeah? Wait, come here? Team Shot P on the right. You can leave after this if you want, but Team Shot P on the right. Didn't peek it.
Utility out.
Lethal out.
I'm stunned.
I need help.
Their Chalk's one shot. What in the fucking Simtex was that?
We've been wiped out.
Boys, come on, we gotta play better.
Simtex like auto exploded on me.
That is unfortunate, Captain Atsuka. You see that? It almost looked like a great play, and then the stun comes in, and who's that so confused as his teammates drop one by one in the space of literally a second.
Yeah, honestly, it was a whole lot of aggression coming from Bulletproof. It was high risk, high reward, and unfortunate. It really was up to chance, but Arial Arise called it perfectly. They were able to line themselves up over by the cart. We've seen that position time and time again, but all it took was that one peek, that one small amount of intel to call the rest of Arial Arise to come play backup, and they did a fantastic job. And we thought maybe with the fixer all through the smoke, Bulletproof would have had a better chance. But once again, we saw the shots coming through the smoke and managed to find their mark. So again, we see Arial Arise stepping up to the occasion.
Right, and it's not quite a Brazil, but it is very close. And they gave up 2 rounds, purely because of the pistol loss, I guess. But they're still looking just as confident. Now, Class is going to take up cannons, and they're going to take a little bit of a slow approach, trying to go to A. What they don't know is that Arial Arise is planted everywhere on that bomb site.
Here we go. We see Cannibals in full retreat after sustaining a whole mess of damage. And now Class is going to be running back up towards that spot as Joker has a nice spot picked out near Cafe and is just waiting for the opportunity to strike.
He is in an OP spot right now, and even if the opposite team decides to rotate, he's probably going to get pop shots or run to the zip line at the same time and get that pick whilst that player is skating away. Chapter 1 does choke though, and he does go down, unfortunately. Joker has been found, and just as I say he's in OP position, he's no longer. Last on sight glimpse spotted by who's that in his ult.
And who's that now? Was able to catch the glimpse with their ult. Found them out and was able to get the elimination. Now, I do got to say that was a little bit of goofy goobery, pish posh, poppycock, and good old-fashioned hogwash coming from the side of Arial Arise. Joker had an OP spot, you said it yourself, but they took too long to come out because by the time they even made their presence known, or lack thereof, there was already an elimination going down on the Dahlia. So by the time they even made an attempt to get any type of damage done, they had already lost a teammate.
And it's confusing because I don't even know why the Dahlia did go down there. She seemed to have just run through connector onto the bomb site for apparently no reason, right? Maybe P-Story got the miscommunication and tried to just help his teammates. And it's unfortunate because really and truly, if they had allowed the attacking team just to advance, Joker would have got a free pick.
Yeah, but they just hesitated, it seemed like, but hopefully they will not hesitate again as we head into round number 11, and it is still Arial Arise with the numbers advantage. They are up 6-4 over Bulletproof, as we can see Class now making their way over to A again, which again is where they have had the most success. Joker and Nash both making their way over back towards that A site as Class will go for the bomb plant.
Looking to be free as well, whilst Who's That and Cannibals are fighting the rest of the team in the back. And now the third member of that team is spotted and spawned. Who's that with an OP position? He won't get the finish just yet, and it's really important that he does. Oh my! He hit the track 140, and he just can't get the finish on him. Chapter 1 is going to run away, Peace Story, and that's a great escape for them. The bomb is down, however, for Bulletproof, and it's in their favor right now. Who's that has no more ult left, and he's going to get traded out. Joker dies as well. Cannibal's here for the rescue. And somehow, it's just not enough. Death after death after death, and it's just still not enough.
And once again, we are seeing a massive amount of revives coming from the side of Arial. Arise. The class has no choice but to pop their ult, is laying down all types of fire, but will finally get eliminated with just enough amount of time for Arial Arise to get the defuse and take the win in map number 2.
You have to think that if he had life drain there, that could have been the round, right? He would have got the first kill, life drain, then he would have shot the second guy, then it would have been a 1v1, and he would have just run around, wasted time, and that would have been 6-5. So that is rather unfortunate for Bulletproof there. But we are going to a 1-1 situation, which I did predict, right?
You most certainly did. You called it right on the head, but I expect nothing less from you, GK. But with that being said, I got to point out Joker's little pop-off there at the end, copying Cannibal's move. What happened? What's going on? What happened that round? What are you doing? But it's all good because we are back where we love to be, and that's at a 1-1 tie heading into map 3.
And like I said, the rivalry is real, right? Like you can see, every time they win a map or a round or a map, Who's That and Joker are popping up, and Cannibal's just popping up saying, look, this is the dream team, and Joker's like, no, this is my new dream team, right? So it's a lot of competition between the two guys, and I've got to ask, what do you think is going to happen? You said, I don't know, but now it's time to know, Captain Ahsoka. What do you think is going to happen? Make a prediction, man. What do you think is going to happen in this last game?
Oh my goodness, I love this. I absolutely love this because once again, GK, you're putting me on the spot. But let's make a prediction based off the replays that we have seen. And this one, remember, was coming from Class, getting that epic 2 kill there, turning the corner with the Spitfire, getting all headshots. And then again, we go back to this replay as we can see that Dahlia being able to take Class out in the same motion. And of course, Glimpse doing a fantastic job as well, coming in with the util support. So just going off of what we've seen so far, it's that Bulletproof loves to be aggressive, but it comes back to bite them in the end as we see Arial Arise's recovery is absolutely insane. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring back something from the quals, and I'm going to rub the crystal bald head of mine once again to try and make a prediction. And if the forces that be can tell me anything, I'm honestly going to predict Arial Arise will take map 3, although I do see it going to a 6-6.
I mean, that's a great prediction. The 6-6 is obviously a great prediction. And you know what? I would have to agree with you that Arial Rise do seem to have an edge over Bulletproof. Even though Bulletproof did smash them out the park in that first game, it was almost like Arial Rise wasn't really playing themselves and warming back into the whole LAN experience. And now they're locked in. It does look like Arial Rise is a much stronger team in terms of communication and stopping pushes, right? From what we heard, those comms were unreal. And then we tuned into Bulletproof's comms, and it was their plays were so messed up by the opposing team. But, Captain, so before we go into the next game, let's have a short break, gather our breath, get a drink, because it's going to be wild. See you in a sec. Hello, and welcome back. I told you it would be a quick break. I'm GK, and this is Captain Ahsoka, and we are in the final match of this series. Arial Arise versus Bulletproof, 1-1. I did predict it, and now we are into the final bit of this. The rivalry we talked about, the matchups we talked about. We saw a fixer come out. We saw a mirror match. We've seen a lot here. And now, if we get into this, I believe, like we've been talking about, it's going to go to a 6-6. Do you agree?
100%. And it's just so poetic that it ends that way because that's how it ended the first time these two teams met. But with that being said, there's a lot more on the line this time around.
Yeah, and ego is on the line as well. It's not just getting to the next stage and getting knocked out of the tournament. It's also pride because these guys are such good friends, you know. They're not enemies in any way. Although there's rivalry, they really do love each other, and you get to know that behind the scenes. So the ego is on the line. This is a big matchup, and I do predict the Scorch coming out for Who's That because it worked so well on that Brazil. I love that word that you brought into the play here, the Brazil, right? It worked so well for them on that first map, and then he didn't bust it out on the second map, and he played Fixer instead with a Mamba. and that wasn't really in his favor, was it?
No, that was more of a questionable call. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing Fixer on a windward map, but that's something a little bit uncharacteristic for Who's That. I would expect the Fixer maybe to come in for Cannibal. That would have been a bit more, I guess, within their play style, but for Who's That, again, I really would prefer to either see a Scorch or maybe even a Glimpse.
Right, something a more attacking and breaching character is what you're trying to say, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree, and and especially as he was holding flank with the Fixer there, it wasn't quite the most useful way of playing that rogue, you know? So we'll have to see as we go forward into this matchup, Captain Itsoka. But what we did say before the break is that we do think Arial Rise might have the edge in pushing this forward. We both agreed on it, and I didn't want to be cliche and choosing Bulletproof and you choose Arial Rise. No, let's be honest, right? We both think that one team has an edge in this situation, and that comes down to the fact that they have already beaten them in a series earlier in this weekend, right? So let's have a look at the maps and what we've played and what we're coming into right now. So we played Breach 7-1. We played Windward 4-7. Now we're into Arena. Arena. We've seen such wild things happen on this map, Captain. Oh, Who's That has played Lancer. He's been flanked by a Fixer, so I don't think he'll be playing that on this map. We've seen Sigrid come out on this map as well, so ooh, there's a lot to go down. It's such a wide-laned arena, shall we say, that anything can really happen.
Honestly, on this map, I think maybe now might be the good time to break out the Fixer, just because there are so many corners, so much cover, and again, the bomb sites particularly are perfect for the smoke grenades.
Yes.
So if you can implement that going into this map, then maybe now break out the Fixer. But again, I would prefer to see somebody like Cannibals with it. Class, I would expect to break out the Chalk. But then again, on the other side for Arial Arise, if they can get the Fixer pick, it's going to be Nash. We already know Nash to pop off with the Fixer. We know that they can use the snipes very efficiently. So again, it's really a toss-up. And honestly, I don't know whether they should try and pick the Fixer or maybe even go just to ban them entirely.
I'll think about that for a second. Now I've thought about it. Here we go. I think they don't ban the Fixer because of the padded steps. Nash loves padded steps. Who's That loves padded steps. Canny loves padded steps. So it brings an element of surprise that a lot of rogues don't have, as well as impact for the team. So you can use the smoke for the team, look through it, and then when that's done and dusted, you then have padded steps if you have enough economy to make a play and flank. So it's a double-headed rogue, and I think it's going to be very, very effective. And both teams, like you said, have played well today. Cannibals has done his thing with the Mamba earlier. Nash has done his thing earlier as well with the Deadeye and the Sniper, right? So now it comes to a thing of who's the better Fixer if it's still in play. I think we already know, right? Looking at a P story on the screen here, Sigrid is probably banned, right?
Oh, 100%. That's the one thing that they're going to do for sure. They ban Sigrid every single time. You got to keep that one away from P-Story. P-Story didn't even need Sigrid. They popped off well on their own without them. Time and time again, we have seen P-Story really put Arial Rise on their back and just go to work on any team that stood in their way.
Well, that's exactly what happened last series for them in against Blackhand. He really almost did it all. He had so much damage, almost around 8,000 damage over the 3 games, and that's unbelievable from one player to do. So he's really here, like I said earlier, on his hero arc. He really wants to make that dream come true and take it to the next level, and this is the time to do it. The Lancer ban comes through as per usual, and I could have predicted this off the bat. We both hands in the air for me and Captain right now. We already knew this was going to happen. Who's That locks in the Scorch instantly, Class on the Chak, and Canny on the Darling. This is the comp we like to see from Bulletproof. Stop messing around. I know Windward is a weird map because it's so big. You do try and switch it up a little bit and predict what the enemy's going to do. But this map is a very breaching map, a very pushing map, and sticking together type thing. So Who's That's going to go on the Scorch? He's going to go crazy on it, I think. Class is going to do his thing on the Chak, and Canny's going to play his role on the Dahlia, looking over his teammates. And on the other side, we're going to see P-Story on the Dahlia, and he does like it because he gets to get kills and keep his teammates alive. Joker going to be on the Chak once again, and Nash. He loves padded steps, like I talked. He loves being invisible, getting intel, so he's going to play Gimps.
Now that we have seen the picks coming from both of these teams, this is nearly too close to call. I like the picks coming out from both the teams. We see Who's That going once again onto that Scorch, and they absolutely popped off the last time Who's That was able to get the Scorch in play. And now not only that, but we see Nash with the Glimpse, and Glimpse is amazing on this map. There are so many obstacles, there are so many corners to constantly duck and dodge, seek cover, and then just completely disappear and lose the opponent instantly. So again, this one is going to be one heck of a match.
That's for sure, Captain. Let's get into it right here. Looks like they're going to head down to B with the bomb, and it's a bit of a bait and switch here. Nash is obviously going to go do his own thing, and they may link up in the middle zone. Yep, that's what's going to happen here. Who's that's going to overextend? Class is going to overextend. It might be fruitful, it might not be, but what they're going to do is going to head straight into battle here. They're taking map control. Canny thinks he's seen something in the corner there. Now, if I'm Arial Rise, I will just be rotating to B, and that's exactly what Nash is doing, and the rest of his team is already on the bomb site. And wow, Bulletproof is not going to stop pushing, but Glass is going to go down because of it. It's a trade. Dahlia down, Chak up again. Both the Dahlias down, Chak is down again, and now we have a Scorch in a 1v2 situation, and that is devastating. Who's that is not happy about that. Not happy at all. He's wondering, why did you fight that so instantly? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, honestly, that was just a classic dynamic duo going down in the gift shop. Nothing else to talk about it. I mean, literally, they had the numbers advantage inside those close quarters, and they tried on the side of Bulletproof to go in one at a time, and at one at a time, they got taken out. Really no big brain plays going on there, but we could see the Chalk on the side of Arial Arise being able to pick up 4 downs.
Big Joker. That's big Joker right there. The 4 Ps. That's an ace +1 on the first round of the game, and that's going to give him super economy and super confidence, right? He's basically $100 off of life drain, and that is something that is scary at this point. He already has a flash, he already has a Semtex and a gun. That is a beautiful round for him, and it's going to do a lot.
And we heard the Chalk ult get popped by Joker as they're forced to retreat here. Now, one knock will come down on to P-Story, but now it will be another knock on the Chalk, and as quickly as the match started, it ended.
You're choking. Ooh, Joker standing up. He's saying, you're choking, you're choking. This rivalry is so real. He wants to win this. He's playing with his ex-teammate from the last LAN, Nash. They picked up P-Story, and he's going against his old team, people. This is a big matchup.
Oh yeah, this is poetry in motion right here, as once again, we are heading back into this one, a 2-0 lead in favor of Arial Arise on the attack yet again here on Arena.
You best believe that after this, when it's all said and done, the dust settles, when we get back home, there's going to be so much to talk about here. There's so much going through these guys' heads. They know that they love to talk to each other about who's better and who's worse. And this is it. This is the main stage. Everything that everyone's been talking about, here it is. Whoever wins this can officially have that ego, right?
Oh yeah, nothing better to win than bragging rights, besides maybe a little chunk of change,
which
we're all fighting for here. As we could see Joker once again getting in position and just waiting for the right moment to strike, waiting to communicate with their team on where to push. And P-Story going to be going up the stairwell yet again. Remember, they got knocked first the last time they went up those stairs, so they're not going to look to make the same mistake twice. As who's that? And we see Nash as well, going to be moving back towards that gift shop where they have found success. Remember, the dynamic duo managed to hold up. Joker and Nash did a whole lot of damage in the first round just by staying in the gift shop.
And this time they forced them off the site. Instead of bombarding them and going straight for a 2v2 fight, they push them off the bomb site, they don't allow the plant, and now they let the attacking team make the play and try and counter it as a defensive side. That's Bulletproof we're talking about. And Arial Rise will just rotate straight away off that, and Nate goes over their head. It's a misplay, and the bomb is looking to go down. The glimpse is in front. Jack, oh no, poor Who's That was caught in a mix-up there, wasn't it?
And now we see Clash trying to get that damage in and knock Nash away from the cover, but the elimination will come through on Who's That, as Nash will pick up a kill, and now it is Bulletproof down in a 3v2 scenario, but they have the high ground.
This is going to be tough. I don't even know what util they have at this point, right? 2-0 down. They couldn't have fought very much. They're just going to push the same area. And Class is going to trade just for the economy. And that's going to be a very bad... Oh, they're all doing it now. P-Story and Joker standing up saying choking. Nash is the only one who's just straight locked in. He's glimpsed in real life. He doesn't want to talk to anyone. He just wants to win.
Now, you see, this is the thing I love about Arial Arise. Whether they're losing or whether they're winning, if they do something good, they're still going to pop off and talk smack to you no matter what. So at least they're consistent when it comes to the pop-off.
And that's the energy you need to make when you get into a situation where you need a comeback. You need that energy. You need to know that your teammates believe that you can bring it back. But that's something that Bulletproof should be looking at right now, right? 3-0. Now, this round is pinnacle in deciding if Bulletproof even have a chance against Arial Rise, because otherwise they'll have to win 2 rounds in a row just to get 2 on defense. And that's something that is really, really crucial in terms of winning this whole map. They're going to at least need to get 2 rounds here, Bulletproof.
Well, here we go. Joker once again about to get things started with the flash. That will find not one, but 2 targets. And now who's that?
Beautiful flash that was.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see if they can take advantage. But it looks like they will be able to recover on the side of Bulletproof and will not be punished after getting utiled completely out of their position. And now Class will pop the ult and make their way in towards that A side where the bomb will in fact be planted. And Joker has enough time to get away and regroup.
Who's that goes down to Nash. Nash is so good at lurking and finding his own path to get a kill, and he will go down there for extending, but he's right next to the Dahlia, and that's why he does things like that and overpeaks, because he just gets the damage and reveals them and ends up putting themselves in a 3v1 with bomb down. Now this is looking mighty, mighty sticky for Bulletproof.
Yeah, and it looked like P-Story was actually laughing at the scenario there. Now they're just memeing. They're doing a little bit of a happy troll as they know they got the win, and they will dap hands and salute off as they will get yet another win over Bulletproof.
I've got to think that maybe fatigue is setting into Bulletproof here. They look a bit tired in the way that they're playing. You know, who's that showing himself on site and trying to stop the bomb plant with 2 people running at him? His teammates aren't there, and then Class is trying to do the same by himself as well. Now a bit more coordination, and a lot of these rounds could be in Bulletproof's favor, so maybe they can adjust.
They're going to have to make a major adjustment, but right now I really think that Nash with that glimpse on this map is honestly just too much to overcome. I said it earlier, there are so many obstacles, there is so much coverage on this map. The glimpse can literally be anywhere at any given time, and they are so hard to find. Already the smoke going down, and Nash being able to get a little bit of damage, but not getting any knocks just yet, as they are going to use that right lane to make their initial push.
What we saw there was all 3 of the enemy team running towards A site to go defend it, right? But in doing that, they have now left the other bomb site completely open, and that is super unfortunate. You would have thought by the bullet shot by Nash there, they would have understood that that B bomb site was going to be hit for the bomb plant, but they didn't. And they've given it up absolutely for free.
Absolutely. And you can see Joker, they're not moving an inch. This is their bread and butter. They love playing in the gift shop. They did it earlier, managed to get 4 knocks in the gift shop alone. This is their home territory. Joker is daring Bulletproof to try and push that gift shop.
I might have to ask them to get me a little goodie. The stuff in there looks great, doesn't it? We've seen so much of that gift shop right now. P-Story goes down, and that's the Dahlia. This is promising for Bulletproof, but they traded it. 2v2, there's so little time on the bomb. Nash goes invisible. So frustrating. You don't know where he is right now. And that's the bomb. 5-0.
Now you see, that was actually a great round by Bulletproof. They managed to try and recover, but it was just too little too late. They didn't have the time on the clock, and like you said, it was from that full dive at B. And often when you see defensive plays go down, they rarely go for that full push, but unfortunately, Bulletproof decided to gamble on B, and they lost. But get ready as we head into this next round with a listen-in with Arial Arise.
You do default again, bro. Just
yeah, do default,
again, play at our tempo. We don't have to do nothing fast. Like, this is land, bro. Check everything.
This is when they get frustrated and make a dumb play, bro.
Yep, they're going to do something stupid. They're going to just rush or something. So just be ready for that. Team shoot together, right, boys?
Oh, yes, sir, bro. Like, all right, play slow, bro. Make sure you're comfortable with whatever you're doing.
I'm going to track them if they're aping.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll put a trophy here.
Nothing.
All right, let Nash work.
Nothing. Yep, let me get the intel real quick. Watch your flank, okay?
I'm looking flank.
I think I heard one mid-stairs.
I'll check it.
I got one inside the bar. He's in the bar, boys. You know, the bar, he's riding in the bar.
Yeah.
Only one?
That's the only kid I can ping. No one else is...
Okay, so can you come ping by the stairs, maybe?
No. We play for that kid bar.
Oh, there's 2 and A. There's 2 and A.
Okay.
This kid's probably stairs. He's probably
he probably is. I'm going to smoke the left, and we kill this kid stairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Go.
We go take back B. On me. In the back.
He's hurt. I threw a detonate. You could come plant.
Yep.
I threw a detonate.
They're rotating back to their spawn.
Yeah, back spawn.
It's gonna be all 3. It's gonna be all 3. All three back there. All 3 back there.
I got Kenny.
Nice. Ah! 2. That's 2.
He's on the box. Don't let him res. Brown box. I'm trying to scan the brown box.
I'm going right.
Let's go, baby. Come on. Let's go.
Come on.
6-0.
6-0. What happened?
We on their head, boy.
6-0 baby. Oh my goodness. He's saying, what happened? What happened? Look at the camera, Joker. Stand up because you guys are playing phenomenal. I just love the way that they trust Nash to, like P-Story said, let Nash work, because he knows what he's doing. They have so much trust in each other. He pings one, he pings two, he goes, look, I'm gonna smoke this off. Let's take the back of the B site. And his teammates fully trust that comm, and they perform so well. P-Story, I got a detonate. You can get the bomb down. Like, everything is covered from these guys. It's actually looking really, really tough.
Honestly, I feel confident in saying that those were probably the best comms that I've heard all night.
I actually have to agree with you, man.
That was entirely insane. And even though Joker is playing Chalk, it was Nash that popped the Chalk ult. As soon as they got that elimination, you heard the yell come out. Ah!
Yeah, you heard P. There was P-Story. You heard P go, ah!
That was the Chalk ult. That was absolutely insane. I love those comms. If they could keep the conversation going like that inside their own booth, they are just vibing on a whole nother level. The team synergy is there. And if they keep it up, we're going to be looking at a 7-0 for the first time in the RCCS this weekend.
And this will be in a legitimate Brazil, will it?
No, a Brazil has to be a 7-1.
Okay, so this will be a whitewash then.
This would be worse.
A whitewash is just a straight 7-0.
Exactly.
And that is basically should be illegal at this point.
It would be the first time we've ever seen it.
At LAN, it's good. Yeah, it would be some wickedry going on here if they make that 7-0 come true.
Lethal out.
Well, here we go. We're getting things started already as we can see P-Story making their way around. And now Class as well, once again, going towards the stairwell, but will make that push towards the A site as Who's That as well has finally decided to switch to Glimpse.
I mean, I have a feeling that Bulletproof haven't scrimmed this map very much, right? Because they would have known that Nash on Glimpse would have been too much of a problem. But let's get into it now. This could be potentially the last round. Glimpse is going to push Invisible. Who's That goes down. He doesn't know how to play that rogue on this map. You don't just run around like that and push. I guess it's the 6-0 formula. Do they get the 7-0? Nash is going to come from behind, and it's going to be 3v1 if that comes down. And there we go. Whitewash City. Arial on the right, stand up. That is 7-0 on the board.
I can honestly say I am shocked. I have never expected in a million years for Bulletproof to get 7-0'd. The first time we have seen it so far at the RCCS, and in this Game 3, no doubt about it, Arial Arise have dominated the arena.
I mean, it's something that we don't expect to see very often, especially with such talent between all the players here, right? You don't think that a 7-0 is even possible because everybody's gun skill is so similar, but, Nash was let off the leash on that last round. He was invisible and he did absolutely whatever he wanted the entire time.
They absolutely did. And again, they were able to pick that Glimpse early. And by the time that Who's That kind of got into the notion that maybe I should pick Glimpse as well, it was too little too late. It was too far gone. Arial Arise had just ridden that wave of momentum all the way to a dub.
And you are absolutely correct. And now, do you know what I want to do?
What do you want to do?
Throw it to the table and get a little breakdown from them.
We get a lot of fun parallels. So yesterday, these two play each other. Get 3 games. They all go 7-6 though, and that's where things start to break apart. Arial Arise win then, and guess what? They do it again here. I got Rathar here again on the desk. 7-1 for Bulletproof on map number 1. Kind of surprising. I think it stood out to everybody, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is going to be an interesting set. We're going to see how it goes. That felt very lopsided. Then it goes 7-4, a little more close. A little bit more. Nobody, I think, was prepared for a 7-0 here at the end.
No, not just a 7-0, our first 7-0 of the LAN event. That's
You've always been able to get just one, at least one.
One something, but no, not in this case. That was a very dominant performance by Arise there, just moving through, and I think the caster said it well. It felt like Bulletproof just hadn't had the experience as we watch these clips and stuff. There's some good plays, good gun skill. You'd expect that from these guys, but when it comes to a play like this we're seeing right now, it's just a different level of, I know the positioning to sit on, I know when to flank, I know when to move, and it just felt like the Bulletproof didn't have that, but Arial Arise did. And as we look at the MVP screen, look, it's Arial Arise across the entire 3 of them. There's no Bulletproof on that MVP board, so they really had the dominance on this map.
I mean, they played cleanly, right? You don't get a 7-0 if you don't. And being able to step up like that, I mean, going into the half up 6-0. At that point, it honestly, I think I'm more impressed that they were able to continue. Like, I feel like you're almost starting to relax a little bit because you've got such a lead. But they did not slow down. Eliminations entirely in their favor. Only 2 that show up on the side of Bulletproof. And unfortunately for Bulletproof, that is the last of them that we are going to be seeing. That is the way they get eliminated here. 7-0 for Arial Arise. A 2-1 win, though, so they keep the set a little competitive at that. Then now, Arial Arise, you can see, going forward. We'll be seeing them again tomorrow as they await the winner of the next and last set of the day. It'll be Rome's Bandits playing Cinderella's Story. And this is one that has a lot of I want to say, potential behind it as well. Cinderella's Story, we haven't gotten to see a whole ton on this broadcast, right?
Nope.
We got to watch them a little bit earlier, and now it's that question, you know, can they be the true Cinderella story, right?
Exactly.
And come through and win.
Exactly. After not winning a map at all yesterday in the round robins to now knocking out French TSB at the start of this day. How well can they do at the end of this day? Will they take on Rugi's team there in Rome's Bandits? They put up a good fight against some of the better teams here. They were in the winners bracket of this starting tournament, so they've placed really well, winning two games yesterday. Can Cinderella Story, as you said, fit that role and get it done?
And being able to find that win earlier has to feel good for them. Like you said, not taking any maps yesterday, but you're going up against a team that was second in their group and has done a lot. So we'll see whether or not they are the true Cinderella story or if they get sent home here by Rome's Bandits. All of that, though, is going to be right after this.